Hi everyone, it's me, Pete Wagner, your whiskey ambassador. I am here to talk to you today about Old Forester. Favorite of mine. It's America's first bottled whiskey. This is the only whiskey to be made before, during, and after straight through Prohibition. It was started back in 1870 by George Garvin Brown. I work for Brown-Forman. This whiskey started the company that now owns Jack Daniels, Woodford Reserve, Herraduhr and el Jimador, Finlandia Vodka. It all started right here. But originally it was not for social consumption. When Old Forester first came out, it was actually for medicinal use. George Garvin Brown worked for a medical distribution company. He would marry whiskeys from 3 different distilleries together to create his product. Problem was, as the whiskey was shipped by wagon up to the Ohio River, and then on the river, upward and onward to the local dispensaries, more than the Angels got their share. By the time it got down south, out west, wherever it was going, the vast majority of it was outside sources. Obviously, a few people got sick from the product. George Garvin hated hearing about this. So what did he do? He made friends with the gentleman down the road that was mass-producing glass bottles, and he put Old Forester into a bottle, sealed it, signed it George G. Brown, guaranteeing good medicine. Today, obviously, we make all of our own product. It's 72% corn, 18% rye, the rest barley. 18% rye, that's considered high rye. That means that it has a nice spice to the back end of it. Remember, when we're making drinks, we want sweet, spicy, and bitter. With that 18% rye, there's a reason they call it the bartender's friend. It creates a nice balance. It was actually named after Dr. Forester, the most predominant doctor in Louisville at the time. Now, for many years, Old Forester was found on the lower shelves. And there is one reason and one reason only, and that's because of that word right there, the word old. Back in 1870, you have to remember, all old meant was that it was aged. The vast majority of the whiskeys at the time were unaged. They were essentially moonshine. But George Garvin thought that the barrel process was very important in mellowing and creating depth and character, where he felt that he should put it right in the title, proving that he had a mellow-aged medicine. To this day, Brown-Forman, the parent company, is the only whiskey company that makes their own barrels. Now, for those of you who've never done a proper tasting, very easy. First, we're going to talk about aromatics, and then we're going to move on to taste. When tasting, you will take your glass. Today, I'm using a Canadian-style Glencairn. You can tell that it is Canadian by the larger tulip on the nose, allowing a lot more of those aromatics to come through. You will hold it about this far away from your nose. You will purse your lips, and as you breathe in, allow those smells to cascade over your tongue. And with this one, the first thing I get is that rye spice. 18% rye, that's standing up. It's rich. I'm getting your vanillas, your caramels. All of our barrels are first toasted, caramelizing all the natural sugars in the wood before they are charred. And all those baking spices are coming through. Let's take a taste. All right, the first thing that you're going to notice is that spice. It has that rye right up front, 18% rye. So it's sharp on the front end, but then it quickly softens as it drapes over your palate. I'm definitely getting some of that stone fruit notes. There are round notes. There's a bit of tropical notes. Baking spices as it opens up, your vanillas, your caramels, your cinnamons. And then at the very end, there's a slight citrus. Definitely balanced. The more I sip, the softer it gets on the palate, yet expands. That rye just builds. That's a delicious bottle. 86 proof Old Forester, the bartender's friend, approachable price point, big flavor, all the history in the world. Cheers.